were there some things, Bill, that they just wouldn't go along with?
Well, there were some things they didn't know about that we did in the film.
Hidden secrets can hide in plain view, and Stripes hides a gigantic one that will blow your mind. For more than 40 years, viewers have laughed at its sharp lines and rebel spirit. Yet one tiny clue, confirmed by Bill Murray only a short while ago, was staring at us the whole time. It is not a lost reel, a band gag, or a backstage fight. It sits right inside the finished movie, changing its heart in ways most fans never noticed. Once you know it, you will never watch the same way again. The idea slipped by because the film moves fast and distracts you with punchy jokes. Murray's late confession is a missing puzzle piece, and the picture completes is wild. But what he shared is only the start. What comes next rattles everything you thought you knew about this classic. Cheech and Chong almost joined the army. When people picture Stripes, they see Murray's carefree grin and Harold Ramis trading wisecracks while a squad of misfits marches in circles. Few remember that the first draft was built for a very different pair, Cheech Marin and Tommy Chong. At that moment, the duo ruled cinema with laid-back stoner adventures that mocked every rule in sight. Writers dreamed of dropping those mellow troublemakers into boot camp and watching sparks fly. The early outline was packed with cartoon-like pranks, wild daydreams, and joke after joke about spaced-out recruits losing the map on the obstacle course. Imagine two sleepy slackers sticking flowers into rifle barrels as drill sergeants screamed. Comedy gold. An unused set piece even sent them on a mind-bending trip deep in a South American jungle, where they would mistake secret tests for a music festival. The military plot was only a loose frame for wave after wave of silly chaos that echoed up in Smoke and Next Movie. The plan aimed to crash Cheech and Chong's slow-motion vibes into the Iron World uniforms, a clash made for pure anarchy. Agents go to war and everything shifts. That clash never made on screen, and the reason is a story of egos and money. Crew insiders whisper that the duo's agent refused to pass the script along, demanding sweeter deals the studio refused to meet. Because of that power play, Cheech and Chong never read a single page, and the project veered hard into new territory. Left without stars, producers gutted the heavy drug gags and hunted for fresh leads who could deliver smarter rebellion. They did not want empty spaces. They wanted sharper fire. This scramble set the stage for a lightning strike casting change that would shape comedy history. Bill Murray and Harold Ramis answered the call. Once Murray said yes, the temperature on set changed overnight. His quick riffs, deadpan grins, and fearless improv turned everyday lines into explosive laughs. He traded loud stoner slapstick for clever shots at authority that felt fresh and daring. Stripes began as a loose pot-heavy romp, but Murray's spark set on a brand-new course towards sly wit and hidden bite. Murray's off-the-cuff style did not just earn giggles. It ripped pages out of the script and wrote new ones in real time. The famous speech where Winger tells the platoon, "We are the wretched refuse," grew from a single note into a full blast thanks to his riffing. Co-stars had to keep pace, often trimming or changing their own words, so his surprise jokes could land with full power. Many takes ended with unstoppable laughter, forcing extra retakes, yet every delay paid off on screen. Drill scenes, mud wrestling chaos, and even quiet Barack chats gained an electric edge once Murray let loose. Viewers felt they were watching real mischief rather than staged antics, and that live-wire feeling keeps the film fresh today. His shockwave also forced the crew to rethink lighting, camera moves, and even music cues to match the new energy, the pulse that holds it all together. While Murray threw comic grenades, Harold Ramis served as a calm anchor who stopped the movie from drifting into pure noise. He plays Russell Ziske, a gentle teacher who signs up only to back his best friend. From the moment he appears, Ramis brings a soft wisdom that balances Murray's wild storm. Where Winger pokes fun at every command, Ziske answers with patience, quick thinking, and real care that make the craziness matter. Ramis masters the art of the small reaction. A slight eye roll, a half smile, or one quietly timed, "Yes, sir," lands louder than a pratfall. He never fights for spotlight. He opens space so jokes can breathe. His rhythm shapes scenes so chaos never turns messy, proving that silence usual can trigger just as many laughs as shouting. Ziske is also the moral compass. He helps Winger cheat through drills, but also drags him back from reckless ideas, showing friendship that feels honest. His steady hand reminds us that under the jokes these soldiers share true loyalty. Because of him, the plot carries genuine heart, turning Stripes from a goofy boot camp yarn into a buddy story older and younger audiences still treasure. A legacy forged in rebellion. The meeting of Murray's free-fire humor with Ramos's quiet grace created a perfect storm. Together they carve a new path where comedies could be loose yet brainy, silly yet a little subversive. Other films copy that mix, but few match the magic that started here. Fans are still spotting clues. Longtime viewers say that once you learn the secret, you see new layers every run. They point at tiny props, quick one-liners, even background posters that whisper about the early Stoner draft. One lively thread claims a bright bus in the final rescue, keeps the road trip spirit alive. Another fan hears a dreamy guitar lick in the marching song and calls it a wink to Cheech and Chong. Ivan Reitman juggles silliness and structure. The director faced a wild task, and he leaned into risk. He let cameras roll past the scripted end of a scene, hoping for extra gold. When lightning struck, he trimmed around the improv in the edit bay, turning raw riffs into tight momentum. He built a set where chaos could bloom, yet never overrun the plot. A tricky balance that kept the studio calm and the cast brave. The shockwave echoes through the 80s. After Stripes became a hit, every studio wanted the same mix of scrappy heroes, sharp wit and quiet heart. Films like Police Academy and Beverly Hills Cop borrowed its DNA, proving that crowds love rebels who crack jokes while caring for their squad. Writers learned they could poke fun at bosses, toss pies, and still deliver warmth in one breath. Stripes opened that door and comedy raced through. Digital age resurgence. Streaming sites keep sending fresh eyes to the movie. Teens who never touched a tape watch the film and rush online with lip-sync skits. Murray's grin still grabs clicks, and the hidden duo twist gives new talking points. A story born in 1981 feels brand new in 2025. All these layers explain why Stripes stays explosive. The film is not one joke or one era. It is many voices stitched together by effort and chance, each compromise adding flavor. With every reveal, the legend grows, and so does our excitement. Turning down Clint Eastwood at the peak of his fame sounds wild. Yet Bill Murray did it and still feels a sting today. After Stripes smashed the box office, Murray jumped from quirky sketch player to trusted headliner who mixed sarcasm with heart. Hollywood showered him with scripts, and one glossy package came from Eastwood himself. The offer was bold. Murray would command a huge World War II sea adventure packed with roaring naval battles, sweeping sets, and a steady stream of jokes. Working with Eastwood, already a silver screen legend, could have rocketed Murray onto a fresh path, blending action with a sly grin. But there was a catch, and Murray saw it right away. He had just worn army green in Stripes, and he feared another uniform would glue him to the label military comedy guy forever. Murray lived for surprises, not labels. The thought of 2 service comedies in a row felt like a trap that would strangle his creative freedom. So he walked away from a project that sounded like every actor's dream. At that moment, he felt it was smart to dodge the box, yet the decision soon weighed on him like an anchor. In later chats on radio and in print, Murray confessed that skipping the Eastwood film lands on his tiny list of true regrets. He wonders about the movie that never was and the skills he never tested. The missed voyage stings for other reasons, too. Murray loves roles that stretch him past pure laughs, and Eastwood team-up would have let him lean into danger, drama, and sly humor all at once. It might have added a new shade to an already bright career, while giving viewers an epic ride. The unmade blockbuster now sits among Hollywood's juiciest what-if tales. Fans try to picture it. A giant Navy epic with Murray cracking jokes on a battleship deck, while Eastwood growls orders alongside him. Would it have changed Murray's film list forever? Maybe it would have kept him inside military stories. Or maybe it would have shown gatekeepers that he could conquer any field. We will never know, because Murray sailed toward smaller, stranger stories, leaving that grand ship in the harbor. The regret grows sharper when fans study the timeline. Soon after passing on Eastwood, Murray leaped into Ghostbusters and changed pop culture. If the Navy saga had moved forward, his schedule could have blocked that ghost hunt. Just thinking about the ripple effect makes film lovers dizzy. Eastwood went on to helm other war stories that sealed his legacy, while Murray kept surprising us with comedies and tender dramas. Both paths worked. Yet the project they almost shared still hangs like a phantom reel in studio vaults. Stripes' surprising military support. The wildest twist inside Stripes is not a gag or a punchline, but a fact that the real U.S. Army helped make it happen. Even though the story pokes fun at boot camp and bossy officers, the production team got serious hardware from the military. Tanks rumbled on camera. Helicopters whirred overhead, and Fort Knox itself opened its gates. Such cooperation was almost unheard of for a film that was not waving a giant flag in pure praise. Producers expected pushback, yet officers smiled and handed over gear. They believed the movie might charm young viewers into enlisting even while it laughed at strict rules. Whether that reading was hopeful or clueless, it worked in the crew's favor. Real guns, real barracks, and real drill fields gave every scene weight. When rows of armored vehicles crossed the screen, audiences felt a rumble in their seats. That grounding made each joke hit harder, because the silly behavior happened in spaces that looked honest, not cartoony. Many insiders later admitted the Army may have missed the sharper jabs. Commander saw a friendly banner, not subversion. Or they simply craved any spotlight that put soldiers on screen during the uneasy years after Vietnam. Whatever the reason, their help painted Stripes with a realism most comedies cannot buy. The irony still sparks big grins. The institution that becomes a punchline is the very one that fueled the laughs. Without those genuine settings, the film might feel smaller and less daring. Instead, it burst with energy and convinced crowds they were peeking into actual training grounds, even as Murray's gang broke every rule. The Army's help reached beyond hardware. Real troops strolled through shots and coached actors on rifles and marching. Their steady presence gave the boot camp scenes extra punch. Fort Knox offered an authentic backdrop, yet scheduling was tricky. Crews paused when real tank drills shook the ground, then rolled cameras to capture drifting dust clouds that added grit to the frame. Chaos, camaraderie, and meltdowns. Life on set mirrored the on-screen madness every single day. Director Ivan Reitman trusted Murray and Harold Ramis to chase inspiration, so the script served more as a map than a list of exact turns. Scenes often drifted far from the page as the cast traded new one-liners in real time. That freedom gave the movie its spark, yet also caused endless headaches. Keeping a straight face turned into the hardest job in Kentucky. Murray would drop a fresh punchline. Ramis would answer with a sly whisper, and the camera crew would shake with silent laughs. Takes blew up because someone snorted, and entire afternoons vanished while the team tried to reset without cracking up again. Lighting teams had to move rigs when blocking changed on the fly. Sound techs rode gained knobs as shouts, and whispers flipped without warning. The chaos felt like chasing fireworks in the dark, but every risky moment saved on film made audiences roar. Studio bosses, watching dailies filled with wild riffs, grew nervous. They feared the Army would yank its support if the jokes felt too sharp, or that viewers would skip a comedy that poked the very people lending equipment. Reitman became diplomat-in-chief, smoothing fears while still letting the set stay loose. A sudden downpour once turned a drill field into sticky mud. Murray turned it into a sliding gag that stayed in the film and sent wardrobe teams drying uniforms by portable heaters until dawn. Visitors who expected strict order found a circus of rewrites and laughter, but behind the noise was deep trust. Reitman trusted the cast trusted their instincts, and the crew trusted the shared roar of on-set laughter. When filming ended, many teammates said the chaos forged friendships that outlasted the movie. Stripes became a case study in how wild energy, real gear, and fearless improv can create magic that still lights up screens today. The legend of Stripes lives on because every layer, from mischances to muddy mishaps, carries a spark of fearless fun. Friendships forged in chaos can outlast any storm. During the rough shoot of Stripes, the cast and crew endured endless delays, restless nights, and studio worries. Yet all that pressure welded them into a tight family that still jokes about those wild days. Laughter filled the long hours like armor against stress. Ideas flew nonstop. Pranks erupted on set, and problems that looked gigantic at dawn felt tiny after one shared punchline. When the cameras finally stopped, those bonds marched on stronger than ever. Scenes you never saw will blow your mind. Fans cheer the finished movie for its fast jokes and rebel spirit, yet whole storylines vanish in the edit room, and they might have changed the film's soul. First up is a romance that slipped away. Early cuts let John Winger and Stella share tender nights, quiet talks, and hints of a real future. Those moments showed Winger craving love and stability beneath his wisecracks, turning the charming slacker into a lonely dreamer. Cutting that thread kept the film racing forward, but it also hit Murray's softer side. Imagine Winger baffled by real feelings while dodging drills. Then picture audiences gasping when the goofball revealed a cracked heart. The editors also sliced out Winger's private battles with failure. In deleted scenes, he stared at dead-end jobs, blamed himself for past stumbles, and signed up for boot camp as a last grasp at meaning. Those reflective beats explained his rebellion in a new light. They slowed the pace, so they vanished. The filmmakers chose punchy rhythm over solemn weight, trusting quick laughs to win the day. Their gamble worked, but the missing sadness would have added deep shadows behind the bright grin. The most shocking cut sent the platoon on a mind-melting trek through South American jungle madness. Dreamlike colors, talking animals, and swirling visions exploded on screen in a sequence written when Cheech and Chong were expected to star. When Murray and director Ivan Reitman steered the script towards sharper satire, that psychedelic detour clashed with a new grounded tone. So the jungle melted away in the editing suite, losing that wild trip trim minutes from the runtime, and locked the movie into a leaner machine. Those edits pushed the balance toward quick comedy and away from slow introspection. The result connected with huge crowds craving energy and mischief, cementing Stripes as one of the most loved comedies of the century. Yet fans still wonder what the stranger version might feel like on screen. Stripes changed Bill Murray's path forever. Before the movie, he stole scenes on live television and in group comedies, yet he had never carried an entire story on his own. As John Winger, he proved he could lead an army of laughs all by himself. Hollywood took notice fast. The success showed executives that Murray was not just a prank machine, but a star who could mix humor with real emotion and draw big crowds. Fresh influence gave Murray freedom to chase tougher scripts. Right after Stripes, he tried the dramatic adventure, The Razor's Edge, in search of deeper meaning. It stumbled at the box office, yet that brave leap announced that Murray refused to stay in one lane. From that moment, his roles carried the blueprint formed on the parade grounds. He played cynics with hidden hearts in Ghostbusters, Scrooge, and many later films, always pairing sharp wit with flashes of vulnerability that viewers loved. Stripes also planted Murray at the rare intersection of blockbuster success and art house respect. He could headline crowd pleasers while skipping into quirky projects that asked for quiet nuance, a balance that defined his long career. The movie also broke comedy traditions wide open. Earlier military farces often praised duty and turned rookies into shining heroes, yet Stripes celebrated misfits who mocked marching songs and ducked official orders. John Winger joined the Army not for glory, but because life felt stuck. His platoon pals flunked drills, teased drill sergeants, and chased small victories like sneaking off base. Audiences related to that honest scramble for basic survival rather than medals. At its heart, the story spotlighted friendship over heroism. Winger and Russell Zisky bonded through shared jokes and mutual respect, showing that loyalty can thrive among rule breakers. That human core grabbed viewers who saw their own daily battles reflected on screen. The film mixed pratfalls with sly commentary. It poked fun at red tape and rigid ranks, using deadpan reactions instead of endless shouting. This blend of silly and smart gave fans layers to enjoy, challenging future comedies to aim higher than cheap gags. By proving that warmth and rebellion can ride side by side, Stripes opened doors for new styles of humor. It inspired later hits in the 1980s and 90s where underdogs pushed back against stiff systems while still searching for belonging. The legacy fans rarely discuss is the buddy blueprint it carved. Before Winger and Zisky, many pairings used a clear clown and a stiff straight partner. Stripes let both leads crack jokes and share emotional weight, creating a natural back and forth that felt like real friendship. That model echoed through Ghostbusters, Lethal Weapon, and beyond, where camaraderie and banter mattered as much as explosive plots. The film also balanced rebellion with sincerity, showing writers that comedy can punch up without losing heart. Workplace satires such as Office Space and Campus Capers like Ferris Bueller's Day Off carried the same spirit, poking at authority while cheering for oddball heroes. Even reflective gems like Groundhog Day owe a nod to the mix of cheeky humor and honest soul that Stripes perfected. Though flashier comedies hogged headlines, Stripes quietly shaped modern laughter. It proved that jokes can be sharp, kind, rowdy, and thoughtful all at once, leaving a blueprint still used by screenwriters today. If this fresh look opened your eyes, smash that like button and share what details surprised you most in the comments. Subscribe for more behind-the-scenes secrets, ring the bell for alerts, and keep watching because the next hidden tale is just one click away.